Hello friends, myself Dr. Veena Sakar Dande with my YouTube channel, that is Veena's Academic Realm, and this is nursing education related channel. And today I am with you all with new topic from medical surgical nursing, that is anemia. So let us start with the topic part 1, blood disorder anemia. So today we will see part 1 from anemia. So what will be outline of session? Session will include definition of anemia, etiology of anemia, types or classification of anemia, pathophysiology, clinical manifestations, diagnostic assessment, management, and health education. So this will be outline for today's session. Definition of anemia. What do you mean by anemia, or what is the definition of anemia as per textbook of Luckman and Sorensen? So mainly it said that there is a reduction or decrease in red blood cells. What happens when there is a decrease red blood cells due to some causes? There will be decreased hemoglobin level. And main function of hemoglobin is to carry the oxygenated blood to each cell or each part of the body. So there is decreased oxygen carrying capacity of the blood, and it is not said that it is a disease, but itself anemia reflect an abnormality of RBC, maybe number, structure, or function. There may be abnormal structure of the RBCs, number will be decreased, and structure will be disturbed. Next definition, second, anemia as per website. Anemia is called as without blood. It is said to be without blood or deficiency of red blood cell. As I already said, there is decreased hemoglobin level, so leads to reduce ability of blood to transfer the oxygenated blood to the tissues, causing tissue hypoxia. Next, we'll see the etiology of anemia. Mainly it is categorized into two part, major causes and other causes. So in major causes there will be a deficiency like for example deficiency of folic acid, deficiency of iron, and we will see important types of anemia. In that we will discuss in detail deficiencies. Abnormal RBC production. So production itself is abnormal in bone marrow. So that is a main second cause for major cause of anemia. Next is excessive blood loss. Like excessive blood loss can be because of bleeding disorders, maybe trauma, post-operative cases, severe gastrointestinal bleeding. So excessive blood loss. And next one is a under major causes destruction of RBCs. Maybe congenital destruction of RBC, maybe because of leukemia, thalassemia, where the RBC will be decreased, or there is a rupture of RBC or early death of RBCs. Next are the other causes of anemia. So first is the acute or chronic blood loss. Acute blood loss will be like trauma, injury, post-operative accident, acute blood loss. Or chronic blood loss may be because of GI bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, bleeding disorders. These are the main causes for the anemia. Then increase RBC destruction from the extrinsic sources. There will be increased RBC destruction from external sources. That is like physical cause. Maybe there is a prosthetic heart wall or thrombocytopenic purpura. So there will be some of the bleeding disorders which leads to lead to decrease into RBC level. Maybe problem with the coagulation. Next is the antibiotics. As like there is some antibiotic which has like infection, mainly infectious agent or for formation of toxins which lead to rupture of the RBC or destruction of RBCs. Next, under the extrinsic factor, hypersplenism. Hypersplenism, that is congenital disorder maybe, or maybe because of infection, or maybe metabolic disorder. There is increase or hyperactivity of spleen. So what happens? There is early rupture of the RBC, and the time comes that spleen stops functioning. So dysfunctioning of the spleen. Or osmotic and physical injury to the cell, like it is mainly sickle cell anemia, we can say. Next is types of anemia, or it is called as a classification anemia. If you see the classification or types of anemia, it is categorized into two categories. A is according to size and shape, and second according to severity. If you see according to size and shape, there may be problem with the structure and size, and according to severity there may be problem like mild, moderate and severe. So first we will see according to size and shape what are the types or classification of anemia. So first one is a normocytic anemia. Normocytic in the sense there is a normal RBC size and shape. There will be normal shape and size of red blood cells, but it will be because of blood loss, chronic diseases like maybe blood disorder, chronic disorders, blood disorder like leukemia, thalassemia, and blood loss. There may be like bone marrow suppression with the chemotherapy. When patient is on chemotherapy, chemo drugs, patient may have a depressed function of the bone marrow, formation of the RBC. Second one is microcytic. Microcytic anemia itself, word itself says that micro that means small. So anemia with the small RBC, we can say there is reduced or decreased size of red blood cells. There will be decreased hemoglobin level in each RBC. So we can say compression of the red blood cells, and mainly it is because of like maybe iron deficiency or protein malnutrition. Iron deficiency that means decreased dietary or intake of the iron, or there may be absorption of iron will be interfered, and it is mainly because of protein malnutrition because of gastrointestinal bleeding, for example like gastritis, colon cancer. These are the some of the examples for anemia which leads to microcytic anemia. Next one is third under the size and shape classification, macrocytic anemia. Macrocytic anemia, anemia with the large cell, we can say large RBCs due to mainly vitamin B12 and folic acid deficiency. So we will see that type of anemia later on. Next is a due to defective hemoglobin. Due to defective hemoglobin, anemia can be due to abnormal shape or defective functioning of the hemoglobin, which can lead to sickle cell anemia. So it is said to be sickle cell anemia. So these are the four types under size and shape. That is normocytic anemia, microcytic anemia, macrocytic anemia, and due to defective hemoglobin. Next classification is according to severity. As already I said, severity that is mild anemia, moderate anemia, and severe anemia. In mild anemia, hemoglobin level, like we can say, normal hemoglobin level in female is like it is said 13 to 16 or 12 to 15 milligram per deciliter. In male, it is 16 to 18 or more than that. So what happens in the mild anemia? Hemoglobin level is 10 to 12 gram per deciliter, but patient will not have any sign and symptoms. That means patient is asymptomatic, called as mild anemia, and it can be treated mainly with the proper diet, iron rich, folic acid rich diet. Second is moderate anemia. Moderate anemia, that means hemoglobin level will be 8 to 10 gram per deciliter, and patient will have some sign and symptoms like dyspnea, that is breathing problems, palpitation, that means increased heart rate, we can say palpitation, diaphoresis with exertion, patient will have a profuse sweating or diaphoresis with walk or climbing the steps, and chronic fatigue. Third one is severe anemia. So in severe anemia, hemoglobin is below 6 to 8 gram per deciliter, and patient may land up into chronic renal failure. So as per severity, there are three types of anemia: mild anemia, moderate anemia, and severe anemia. Next, we will see pathophysiology of anemia, general pathophysiology of anemia. like what happens, normally there will be hematopoiesis. Normally hematopoiesis, that means production of blood cells. Production of blood cells, that is called as a hematopoiesis. It is a normal process which happens into bone marrow. So what happens, there will be RBC produced in the bone marrow. Normally production of RBC will be in the bone marrow, and the formation of this RBC, there is requirement of some things, some particles or some elements. So requirement of RBC production is called erythropoiesis. Basically hematopoiesis is production of blood cells, and what is erythropoiesis? Production of red blood cells, which happens in bone marrow. So there is a requirement of some element, like there will be requirement of reticulocytes, adequate supply of iron, vitamin B12, folic acid, protein, pyridoxine, and some amount of copper. So this is a basic requirement of production for RBCs, which is happened into bone marrow. So what happens, like some of the factor is missing, like reticulocytes are not there, or vitamin B12 is not there, or somewhere iron deficiency is there. So if any factor is missing, RBC will be fragile, abnormal shape of the RBC, then abnormal size of the RBC, and hemoglobin will be too low or in few number. So there is a less production of hemoglobin, we can say. And what happens, we know the function of the hemoglobin. It carries the oxygen to all over the body, tissue, organ, and all over the body. So transport of oxygen is impaired because of low hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is lacking, and then number of RBC are also too low to carry the adequate oxygen to the tissue, leads to hypoxia. So this is in short about the pathophysiology of anemia. Next is a clinical manifestations, or we can say signs and symptoms or clinical features of anemia. So first and important function is hypoxia, decreased oxygen level in the blood. Hypoxia because of, again, decreased hemoglobin level. Pale appearance, like you can say the nail beds are pale, palm are palm lines are pale, conjunctiva, we can see the paleness all over this part. Then shortness of breath, because patient is walking or patient is climbing the step, and there is a insufficient hemoglobin because of this decreased oxygen level. So what happens, there is a body try to compensate with the low oxygen, so patient will have a shortness of breath. Dyspnea on the exertion again, and patient will have a fatigue because of, again, low oxygen level. Next, gastrointestinal bleeding. So we can say there will be tarry stool, or there will be GI bleeding. Palpitation, patient will have palpitation. So heart has to pump more and more to compensate with the low hemoglobin and low oxygen. Patient may have a initially hypertension, and then patient may have hypotension. If it is a chronic or severe anemia, low hemoglobin level is less than 6 or 5 gram per deciliter, and the patient is not treated, not taking proper diet treatment, patient may land up into heart failure. And then patient will develop some of the silent symptoms like angina pectoris, angina, chest pain, which will be originating from the heart problem. Tachycardia, that is increased heart rate more than 100 per minute. Arthropnea, patient will have breathlessness while standing also. Patient may have a dependent edema and broods. So when patient is having severe anemia, this symptom can be seen in the patient. Next is a diagnostic assessment of anemia. First, what happens, diagnostic assessment, first we have to have a proper history of the patient. In the history, we have to take the history of underlying cause, whether patient is having bleeding problem, what is the dietary factor, or any underlying disorder, patient is on any drug. So we need to take in detail history of the patient related to disease problem. Then examination, patient's examination, like head to toe examination, then patient assessing the signs and symptoms of the patient, like breathlessness, whether this paleness, patient is having any other symptoms related to disorder. Next is the Laboratory investigation, mainly first investigation is complete blood count. In complete blood count, what is important? Red blood cells and hemoglobin. So RBC count, red blood count and hemoglobin level is very very important here to highlight the disorder. We can come to know the severity of the disease. Next is a hemoglobin electrophoresis. This is an investigation mainly done to find out the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin, mainly in the blood. Next, to identify or rule out the basic root cause. So, bone marrow aspiration can be done to identify whether patient is having problem with the formation of RBC or premature formation of the RBC or rupture of RBC. What is exact problem? Next, peripheral blood smear. Peripheral blood smear, we can understand the shape or structure of the RBC, or we can identify type of anemia, and then we can say this is a cause for this type of anemia, like whether it is microcytic, macrocytic or normocytic. Depending on the shape and the structure, we can identify type of anemia. So we can see here blood smear slide, like at the one side we can see normal RBCs, like the crowd of, we can say, normal RBC, and at the one side we can see anemic red blood cells which are scattered at the one side. Next is iron deficiency anemia. In this iron deficiency anemia, you can see the slide how the anemia seen into iron deficiency. Next, we can see the different shapes in the sickle cell anemia. Sickle cells, we can see the normal RBCs, like it is a round shape, and then we can see the different shapes, sickle cell anemia. Then next is a microcytic anemia. Microcytic anemia, you can see the small structure of the red blood cells. Next, macrocytic anemia. Macrocytic anemia, basically we can see macro, the large size of RBCs. You can see like balloon like structure or big size of RBCs, which is said macrocytic anemia. And next one is a folic acid deficiency or B12 deficiency anemia. We can see the different structure or RBCs are abnormal. That is because of vitamin B12 and folic acid deficiency. Next is we can see in general the management of anemia, and basically we are going to discuss management into three titles, that is elevating or controlling the cause, that means identifying the cause of anemia and treating the patient according to that. Second is relieving manifestations as per the severity of anemia and preventing complications. So these will be three titles we are going to study under the medical management of anemia. Next is a elevating or controlling the causes. So under this title we are going to discuss each type of anemia. So mainly we are going to discuss 6 types of anemia. First is iron deficiency anemia, megaloblastic anemia, pernicious anemia, aplastic anemia, hemolytic anemia and sickle cell anemia. So these all types or categories of anemia we are going to discuss in next session.